So when I started my YouTube channel back in January, I wanted to start very simply. I was still learning the recording software, the video editing, experimenting with a lot of stuff, what combos worked, what didn't. And I was trying to figure out what song could I choose that's simplistic in its own right, yet would be effective as an arrangement with a small, simple ensemble. And I thought of this one song that I heard a long time ago. It was a song, a folk ballad written back in 1976 by composer Gordon Lightfoot. And the name of the song is The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. And it's a song about the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. It's the Edmund Fitzgerald was a Great Lakes freighter that got caught in a storm in Lake Superior after leaving a steel mill in Wisconsin bound for Cleveland with a load of iron ore pellets. It got caught up in a storm and broke apart and sank. And all 29 of its crew members were lost. And it was a big news story back then. And composer Gordon Lightfoot decided to turn it into a song. Now, let me tell you why this song is unique in its own right. Musically, if you're writing a song, there's a couple of elements you have to kind of like abide by that are the musical conventions in songwriting. You need verses, you need a chorus, you need sometimes a bridge. It depends on, the layout of your song. Okay, if there's a transition between the verse and the chorus that needs something to bring it in to modulate the harmonic structure or something, you may need a bridge, maybe you don't. But usually there's these several elements that you need to employ when you're writing a song. In this particular song, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, this song has no chorus. It has no bridge. It's just one verse after the other. And believe it or not, it works. It's that needle in the haystack where you could just have one of those elements of songwriting in there and it works. Basically what Gordon Lightfoot, when he wrote this, was trying to do, he wasn't writing this song to abide by any type of musical convention. He was writing this song to tell a story and to tell it through music and through poetry. So it's just one verse of a poem right after the other. And it accomplishes that. It tells the story and it tells it very well. Maybe when Gordon Lightfoot started writing this song, he tried adding choruses or a bridge, or he tried a lot of stuff and it didn't work. The only way the song worked is just with verses. And some of these verses, the wind in the wires made a tattletale sound, and a wave broke over the railing. Every man knew, as the captain did too, 'twas the witch of November come stealing. The melody behind these verses, that's the only melody you hear throughout the entire song. Verse after verse after verse, that's the melody. No chorus, just that. And guess what? It works. When I listen to a song that I want to arrange, I'm sitting there listening to it, and I'm listening to various parts of the song, and I'm trying to figure out what instruments would I use in the particular parts I want to arrange. And again, remember, I'm doing these 1-minute arrangements for my YouTube channel. So, number one, I have to figure out what is the best part of the song to start at and end at in 1 minute. Now, sometimes I'm lucky and I could do a verse, maybe 2 verses, a bridge, and a full chorus in 1 minute. Most times not. Okay, some songs I do, sometimes it's all chorus. Sometimes it's all verse. Sometimes in some songs, like in the next video that we're going to see, I actually start at the bridge. I just have to figure out what is the best place to start at to do an effective 1 minute recording summarizing the best parts of each song. Now, the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, like I said, it's just one verse after the other. So it's one of the few songs where I'm able to actually start at the beginning. And I play 2 verses. That covers a minute or under a minute. Now, I'm listening to it, and I'm listening to that theme again, the verse. So I'm listening to that, and I'm looking at the lyrics, these very poetic lyrics that's telling a story of almost a sea shanty. And the dawn came late and the breakfast had to wait when the gales of November came slashing. When afternoon came, it was freezing rain in the face of a hurricane west wind. I'm like, what instrument could convey that? And the first instrument I thought of, bagpipes. I don't play bagpipes. I know very few people that play bagpipes well. And digital bagpipes, forget it. It'll make you vomit. So I wasn't about to use digital bagpipes. As I explained in my first video, I avoid using digital instruments at all costs. Save for a couple, organ, piano, whatnot, but digital bagpipes, definitely not. So then I was thinking, what's a good alternative to bagpipes? Well, there's a patch that I found on my guitar pedal board, which gave me a very resonant, very gritty, bagpipe-like quality to my electric guitar. So I used that. And against everything else I used in the combo, it was exactly the way I pictured this song sounding. So in keeping with the simplicity of the song itself, the rhythm is a very basic 3/4 rhythm. It's not a waltz, nothing crazy. It's just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So after I chose the 3/4 rhythm, a very simple setting on my drum looper, on my pedal board, I laid down the piano accompaniment. And then the theme comes in. Okay? So it's very simplistic, very simple rhythm, very simple piano accompaniment. Now, here's where the exciting stuff starts to happen. So I got the rhythm down, I got the piano accompaniment down, I decided to use the electric guitar in lieu of bagpipes. Good choice. But now I'm like, it doesn't need much, but it needs something. Something to make it my own. But it needs something simple, again, very simple, but a little clever. Okay, so now I decide, let me put some strings in there. So I use one violin and one viola. Now, I told you that this was written originally in C. I transposed it into A for a very particular reason, because I wanted to use the open A and open E strings on the violin for brilliance and for another reason. So now, if you listen to the recording, you'll hear the violin and viola. Okay? So that's a very, not so much fiddle, folksy effect, more like a drone. And later on in the song, I have them do this. Which is very much like a bagpipe drone. See? I wanted to do a little something different. So I opened the song with those open strings, those open chords on the violin viola. And I did them in tremolo. Any classical music fans out there may recognize this particular opening that I decided to use in a song about a shipwreck applied somewhere else. The overture to the opera The Flying Dutchman, which is a story about a ghost ship. When supper time came, the old cook came on deck, said, "Fellas, it's too rough to feed you." At 7 p.m., the main hatchway caved in, said, "Fellas, it's been good to know you." Thanks for joining me in this video on my arrangement of the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. I hope you enjoyed the clip of it. And this was my first clip that I had posted, my first arrangement I had posted on my YouTube channel. In the next video, we are going to talk about my latest arrangement, which I had posted just a couple of days ago, and that's my arrangement of the song Jeremy by Pearl Jam. It gets a little more complex than this, but I guarantee that at the end of that video, you are going to know what exactly an orphiclide complex is. Take care, be well.